I have this thing that bothers me greatly. It's a thorn in my flesh. When I see all these black athletes, generation after generation, leave the hood, the projects, the churches, their grandmamas that raised them, make all this money, all of a sudden now you ain't listening to nobody that you grew up with. And you're blowing all your money, and the Amalekites and the Midianites and the children of the East getting all your money. And our communities and our schools and our churches are no better. Now watch this. I was watching on the news just the other day. There are a number of high schools around the country that are shutting down their football programs because of the injuries. So maybe, this is a strong statement, maybe it's time we wake up and stop thinking the only way we can be millionaires is playing sports. Stop telling your son he's going to be the greatest. He might be, but tell him to get a degree in engineering, something. My son just keeps telling me every now and then, one of the greatest things I told him when he got cut the sophomore year of basketball, son, you're not going to make it to the pros. It broke his little heart. But that was one of the best things I told him. He about 5'10". Stop this fantasy stuff. Get the wisdom of God so you can look at your children and see what's in them that God put in them and nurture and foster that. These wise men only thought Jesus was king of some poor folk. Oh, you king, but you king of some insignificant people right now. They poor, they're enslaved by the Romans. You king, but really don't matter. See, that's what the world's trying to tell you. Oh yeah, you a child of God, but it don't matter. You go to church, but it really don't. You got to stop that thinking from going through your head. Let me finish this. 1 Corinthians 1:24. But unto them which are called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ is the power of God and the wisdom of God. When you and I got saved and got Christ living in us, we not only got the power of God, we've got the wisdom of God. Tell your neighbor, you too wise to make foolish mistakes. You're too wise to stay broke. You're too wise to stay poor. You're too wise to stay in that minimum wage job. You're too wise to stay in that half a bedroom apartment. You're too wise to be mislabeled and walk around in fear. You're too wise. Slap somebody high five and say, you're much too wise. It's time you rise up to the level of your wisdom. Tell somebody it's time for you to live at the level of your wisdom. We've got wonderful churches that love to display the power of God, signs, wonders, and miracles, and that's needed. But now it's time for some churches to rise up and saints just to walk in the wisdom of God. I'm not going to smoke cigarettes. I got too much wisdom. I'm not going to go to the gambling casino. I got too much wisdom. I'm not going to commit adultery and fornication. I got too much wisdom. I'm not going to waste my money